Been a while, guys. So, here's the thing. Today we're going to start off by talking about my Let's Play, for those of you who actually care about that stuff. I've been doing a Let's Play on Final Fantasy IX. Right now, it's on a hiatus, mostly because I really actually want to play the game first, so I know what I'm doing before I attempt to actually tell people how to beat the game. I tried the whole, play as you go thing, and it works for some people. It's just not what I envisioned. So I'm almost done. Actually, it's why I've been absent for a few weeks, but I've let my vlogs go down, unfortunately. So we're gonna fix that. Today we're talking about a topic that it's not a hot button topic like for me. I mean, my two biggest ones is like abortions and feminism, but we're not talking about those today. Those are I have to prepare for those. But no, today we're talking about another issue that I do care about very much, enough to, get my opinion out there and to see what you guys think too. Um Bullying in school. The reason I brought this up is because lately on like Facebook and a lot of other social media sites, I've noticed that there seems to be a very pro bullying approach happening, which is something I never thought I'd see before. I mean, I know our society's going to shit. It's been going to shit for years, and what with Trump being president now, we're doomed to fail. I didn't expect that to ever actually be an issue, like telling people like, no, bullying is bad. I should never have to tell somebody that. There's a meme on Facebook that pretty much, I'm not gonna quote it, but what it pretty much says is that you can't wrap your children in bubble wrap, because if you do, that's how you raise them to become victims. Raise them to be victims. They get a victim complex. And apparently, according to whoever made this meme, that means, bullying is a way to toughen your child up. Which I can understand. I'm not gonna lie. I understand where they're coming from. No way in hell do I want my kid to become a pansy who can't fucking take care of themselves. I understand that. But that's going too far. The problem is a lot of people's arguments are usually, well, I was bullied in school and I turned out just fine. It made me tougher. And I'm like, okay, I mean, I was teased in school all the time. I mean, school's a shithole. Nobody likes school. I mean, that's like that's the most prominent part of your life where you're gonna be ridiculed and mocked. I mean, things happen in the world all the time and work, but I mean, in school, you go to that every day, you see the same people every day. You are bound to have a worse time of it because of the environment that just school caters to. But the point is that just because a child is not okay with being bullied and gets their feelings hurt doesn't mean we should be like, well, tough, learn how to deal with it because there's worse things in life. No, you need to protect your kid. I'm not saying, like, baby them and, like, oh, Susie said mean words to you. She said she didn't like your dress. I don't know. Then it's like, uh, honey, people are gonna disagree kind of thing. But I mean, I'm talking like, I'm sorry, but if someone's bullying my kid, I'm definitely gonna want something done about that. If someone punches my kid, I expect them to punch them back. That's how that works. But I don't think it's wrong for a child to feel hurt or to not want to be mocked. I mean, somebody told me, well, bullying's always going to be there. It's always been there, and there's nothing we can do about it. It's just always going to be a part of your life. I came out just fine. And I'm like, yes, it's always going to be there. You're absolutely right. That doesn't mean we should stop trying to prevent it, especially in this society we're in right now. I mean, a couple of years back, it was pretty bad. It's always going to be bad. But I mean, what with the internet now, cyberbullying is a huge problem. And it makes it so much easier to fuck around with people now, too. Because, I mean, you have things like fake accounts, and I'm sure people are going to go, well, they have countermeasures for that. They can look up your IP address and whatever else technological stuff they can do. I'm not an expert. But, I mean, come on, you're going to tell me that a public school is going to expend its resources to find someone who's been harassing one kid. Now, I can understand them doing something about it if, like, it were, like, a huge group. But they're not going to go out of their way to find the one person who's been bullying somebody online in their school. I mean, it's iffy enough, cyberbullying. Some schools don't tolerate it, at all. Some of them go, well, it didn't happen on campus, so there's nothing we can do about it. It's all relative to how the school views its policy, which is shit. They should be adjusting to our advancement that we make as a society, as a people. And I just don't think the people who are going, well, people are fine, they'll be fine. I learned to deal with it, so can they. I don't think they get it, though, is the problem. I know from personal experience, a lot of the younger kids nowadays, I can't believe how soft-skinned some of these kids are. I mean, we mock people all the time, like, oh my god, people are offended all the time. Yes, way too much. You guys need to chill with that. But just because someone does it too much doesn't mean you can't be offended at all. And that's the problem. People are taking, well, my kid gets bullied at school, and they're getting offended, and they don't like it, and they're complaining about it, rightfully so, to mean, well, they need to deal with it themselves. No, you as a parent need to fucking step your ass in and go, hey, stop fucking with my kid. As a recurring thing, I'm not gonna let my kid be bullied just because I think it might make them a stronger person. There are other things that they go through in life that they learn in life as an adult and they grow up and mature. These are things that they learn en route as long as you're parenting correctly. You should not have to use schoolyard bullying to teach your child to be tough. That's your job as a parent to do that. And I don't like them using the excuse like, well, it happened to me and I'm fine. Just because you're fine does not mean the next child's not going to be. I read a story today on Facebook about a 9-year-old boy who hung himself because he was being bullied in school. Now, I had a very naive childhood. I grew up under a rock, essentially. Think of, like, growing up in a convent. That's pretty much my childhood, so I don't really know a lot about appropriate age-related things. I don't know what a 9-year-old who is normal would be thinking about. But let me tell you, when I was 9 years old and things were going on, my first thought wasn't, I'm gonna kill myself. I mean, that's just not the thought I had. Honestly, as an adult, since, you've learned shit and the world has made you dark and tainted and shit, that does pop up, especially with people who suffer from depression. They get too much and they go, maybe I should just kill myself. I'm sorry, I don't think 9-year-olds think like that. And for a 9-year-old, especially to hang themselves, like, anytime I hear someone who dies from hanging, it's usually someone older. Like, whether it's an older teenager or a way older adult, I've never heard of a 9-year-old who hung themselves. And, I was looking for that same article to prove a point earlier today, and I found 3 more, also 9-year-old boys who hung themselves. Completely different, not related at all. And they all did it because they were being bullied in school. Just because you were okay in school doesn't mean the next kid is going to be okay. The next kid could be dead. And I'm sorry, if we have the ability to stop school bullying, I think we should. Using it as an excuse like, well, it's a tool, that's not good enough. Your kids don't deserve that. Children do not deserve that. They deserve to be able to go to school and learn and enjoy interacting with their friends, not being miserable. Like, I enjoyed school. I enjoyed school a lot. However, there's someone very close to me who had a hell of a time in high school. He was miserable. He absolutely despised it. It was the worst time of his life. And he's not alone. There's so many people who struggled through high school. And just because they made it through doesn't mean it should have happened. That's just the point I'm trying to get at. I don't know. Maybe I'm just sensitive, but I want to know what you guys think. Do you think, school bullying is as big of a deal as everyone's making it out to be? Do you think I'm nuts? Do you think I'm being too soft? What's your opinions? Leave a comment because, you guys love me.